So, Shannon, if you were the Texans, would you consider trading Watson straight up for the #1 overall pick to draft Trevor Lawrence?
Hell nah. If I'm the Jacksonville, I want more than that. I want Deshaun Watson and Brandon Cooks. Because here's the thing, Skip. Although Trevor Lawrence is a great prospect, I already know what Deshaun is. Deshaun right now is arguably a top 5 quarterback. Can you assure me within the next 3-4 years that Trevor Lawrence is going to be a top 5 quarterback? I can't make that assurance. I already know what Deshaun Watson is. He just led the league in passing. So, and I know what I'm going to get on a weekly basis. Rookies, I mean, he might come in and have a better year than Justin Herbert.
So you actually think Houston deserves more?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
No. Jacksonville.
Okay.
If you want him, Skip. No, look. If I'm first of all, Jacksonville would never. Jacksonville. I don't believe Houston would do this, entertain this. But if I'm Jacksonville, I'm going to try to get as much as I want, considering that I know that, to hear these, Skip,
because you know he needs out once out.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So I will try to extract as much as I possibly can.
Okay.
Because when have you ever heard of a franchise quarterback potentially wanting out so early in their career? I've never heard this before. And you done been around the game a long, long time, and I played 14 and been around the game. I've never heard of a franchise quarterback wanting out. Now, we've seen guys before they get drafted. We said the Elway situation. We saw Eli's situation. But once he get to a location, plays as well as this young man has, and so like after this is what his fourth finish. I think he finished his 4th year. So I think might need to be moving along. Because what Deshaun is saying, hold on, y'all just went down this road a couple of years ago. Y'all got Bill O'Brien. Y'all keep going to get all these guys from New England. They don't do anything. How many limbs on that tree must haven't bared fruit, and y'all still keep going and planting them?
And worse for Deshaun, he asked for some input in each of the 2 hires, the GM hire and the head coach hire. And he is shut out on both
Why he should be surprised? What did the owner say before his son took over after his dad passing? Mm-hmm. You think he got very, very different views from what his dad has?
I doubt it.
Exactly.
And you're talking about Robert McNair, passed, at an owners meeting a few years back, was quoted as saying, it was reported that he said to the owners, this was within the confines of the meeting, that we can't let the inmates run he didn't say asylum, which is a cliche. He used prison, which seems even worse to me. We can't let the inmates run our prison, right? And he had to profusely apologize for it once it was leaked out that he said that.
And remember, they ended up having to trade the tackle because he was so upset. They ended up trading him. He traded him, and then they allowed Bill O'Brien to trade the DeAndre Hopkins, and they didn't confer for a running back.
And then their highly respected, widely respected PR director was fired because they said she doesn't fit our culture because she was probably too helpful to a lot of media members, right? So you have one thing after another happening around Deshaun that he's saying, I don't fit here, I don't belong here, because you people don't even allow me. He just wanted to say, why don't you interview him, whatever. Eric Bieniemy, obviously.
He ain't even on the list.
No, he's not on the list. He didn't even get a Zoom interview with
Skip,
him.
you remember they was talking about during the hiring process, and I spoke with Coach Dungy. He was on my podcast, Club Shay Shay. Check it out if you hadn't subscribed already. And he said, they asked him, to help out. Got a lot of the guys from the Fritz Pollard Alliance Committee, okay, minority, what should we be looking for? How do we go about this? Now they said, we good. The owner and the Nick Caserio, I think that's how you say it. Caserio. We're going to go it alone now. So basically, Skip, it was show. Okay, we got Tony Dungy. We got a couple of the black guys, maybe get some minorities. Yep. But at the end of the day, Skip, and that's the problem that you have, Skip, when you try to get minorities. These owners going to do what they do. Now, they're going to do everything for show. Oh, yes, we believe in minorities. We believe in equal this, equal that.
Okay, so I think Deshaun does want out. And I'm not so sure he is the classic fit for this franchise and its mentality.
Right.
So I would think this franchise would be intrigued by Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Is he not the hottest prospect?
Yeah.
I know, obviously, my homeboy turned into somebody, but he wasn't this hot a prospect coming out of Texas Tech.
No, you got to go back to Andrew Luck. Skip, these guys, you got to go back to Andrew Luck. You got to go back to Peyton Manning, where you're like, okay, when he comes out, he's going to be the first pick in the draft.
So is he once a decade or?
Probably so.
You could almost go back even farther than that, right?
Mel Kiper saying the highest player he's ever graded was 7 in 1983, which was John Elway.
Yeah.
So he measures quarterback. He's on that level. That's what he said about Peyton Manning and the study habit. This kid has it all, Skip. He's prototypical. He's 6'5", 230, 235. He can run. He's mobile, big time arm, plenty good enough arm. So he checks all the boxes.
Okay. So I believe that long-term, Deshaun will prove to be better than Trevor Lawrence. That's just a gut feeling from watching Trevor in college.
Right.
Like him. I'll go so far as to, it's hard not to love what you see.
Right.
I really love everything I've ever seen about Deshaun in college against St. Nick's defenses twice as a clutch performer on the biggest stage. And obviously, even last year, they went 4-12. He led this league in passing yards. He had a career-high 33 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions for a really bad football team. And Pro Football Focus has him top 3, ranked him 3rd for a bad football team. I'm sold. I know what I got. But maybe this would be the classic trade that would be great for both sides because Deshaun needs a fresh start. And how can you start any fresher than with Trevor Lawrence?
No,
right?
well, if he becomes available, book it. If he goes to San Francisco, he'll be an MVP within 2 years.
Who will be?
Deshaun Watson.
If Deshaun goes to San Francisco.
If he goes to the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, it's over.
Okay.
It's over.
Okay, but again, this is a classic silver platter deal where you could start over in Houston with as marketable a young quarterback as you could find, Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
Would that not be?
That would be ideal. I mean, they're both from Georgia. One went to Cartersville, one went to Gainesville.
Yeah.
So both were outstanding high school players. Both were outstanding. Went to the same college. Were great. Won a national title.
Yep.
Beat Alabama for that title. Lost a national title. One lost to LSU. The other lost to Alabama. So they have a lot of similarities. Lawrence is obviously a lot bigger. Deshaun has a very thin frame, but he's very durable. Ooh. Tremendous mobility, big-time arm, can make all the throws. I don't see it, Skip. That would be great. But like I said, I think the thing is that it's different in football than in basketball. More times than not, if you're the superstar player, they will consult you. They will confer with you about who they're going to hire in the NFL. Let me ask you a question, Skip. Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls. How many times you think Bill Belichick say, hey, Tommy, we think about signing this guy, or we think about doing this? How many times you think he rated by Tom?
None.
That's
okay.
That's just the way it works in football, Skip.
I got it. There are other partnerships where the quarterback has some input. Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger, they probably run things by him. Patrick Mahomes, if they do anything offensively, I'm sure.
When John Elway in his heyday, I will bet you that Mr. Bolin went to him occasionally and said, what do you think? Yeah,
but Skip, the relationship that Mr. B and John had was very unique. They were in business together. They had car dealership together. And ended up Mr. B wanted to get out, and John bought him out, and he made that was very profitable. I think owners try to stay away, unless you're Daniel Snyder or Jerry Jones. But for the most part, owners keep arm distance.
Okay. All I know is if Jacksonville landed Deshaun Watson, he would quickly turn them into a playoff.
I ain't trading within my division.
Well, why not?
Hey, nah.
Well, if you get Trevor Lawrence.
I bet you. No. Trevor Lawrence, Dexter Lawrence? No, hell nah.
I don't know.
Skip, do you realize what Deshaun Watson is? Deshaun Watson is a proven commodity. I get it. It might be a situation where Trevor Lawrence might be Bitcoin because, Bitcoin at one point in time was, $100, $400. Now they're trading at, $40,000. Okay, he might be that. But I already know I got a gold bullion. I got a gold brick. And the one thing I know about gold, it might go up, but it ain't going to bottom out. So
they got a gold brick investment in
Deshaun.
You could invest. No, in Jacksonville. In Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, I mean, Deshaun is like, either way, Skip, guess what? There's no state tax in either. So it ain't like I'm losing out either way. If you Jacksonville, you do that deal?
Heck yes.
Houston Texans, you do that deal.
Well, if you feel like if you feel like he doesn't fit your culture either, if you're on the outs with him,
Right.
if he's just an unhappy camper and you know he's going to go forward unhappy, it's like AD with the Pelicans where it's just not going to work.
Right.
He wants out. Well, okay. Now he wanted to go somewhere. He wanted to go to LeBron.
Like I said, I don't. I'm very much against James Harden. Be professional. As long as you look, you can go ask out and be professional. Just as long as he don't, he can make it. I read John McClain, the great writer. He's been writing for Houston for forever in a day, and he's like, there's nowhere they're going to trade him, but he can make it very uncomfortable because you're going to have a new coach, you're going to have a new system. Well, I see y'all come training camp.
Yep.
You get. I don't know that. I'm reading with Jesse Tretter, the NFLPA player rep president, saying that we showed that we don't really need all these OTAs. We don't really need all these training camps and all this other stuff. We did put a pretty good product on the field. So, could it be a situation where they're going to start getting away from that, and you're not going to be able to get the guy as much as you like? A lot of things are going to be Zoom moving forward, Skip. Mm-hmm. But I hopefully, they can get this thing worked out because Deshaun is off to a great start for his career. Skip.
He sure is.
Mm-hmm. I just worry that if Watson is tweeting that out, it must not be a good situation. Because if you're tweeting
what did he say, Skip?
Pretty frustrated. Some things never change.
Yeah, he could have kept that to himself.
Exactly. There's a lot there. We're going to have to wait and see how this one plays out.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.